Hello and welcome to another episode of 3 Minute Game Pass. I'm Nathan and today I'm going to tell you whether this Game Pass game is worth your time and bandwidth. Today's game is Doom 3, the much criticized sequel to the classic duology of demon destruction games. How does this slower, more horror-themed interpretation of Doom pan out? Well, let's find out. Doom 3 is an Xbox and PC cross-release, again with Play Anywhere like the rest of the series. There's no sort of upgrades with regards to which console you play it on, but it will always run at 60 FPS, which is nice, and the game is about 10 hours long. So what exactly is Doom 3? Well, it's an FPS game with an emphasis on exploration, lighting, and horror. You may note I didn't say fast-paced, blisteringly action shooting in there like I did with the other Doom games, because that's right, this game has reimagined what the Doom franchise might be. It is a reboot of the story from the previous games with reimagining the styles for the enemies, environments, etc. But you are still on Mars and they still do open a portal to hell, so at least that part is going to be familiar. You still have the classic weapons from Doom, shotgun, plasma rifle, minigun, all that good stuff, but they are divvied out a little slower. Lots of the game is more focused on slower paced exploration rather than run fast, shoot like the rest of the series. It's worth pointing out this is also the BFG edition of the game, which is a re-release that gives more health and ammo drops over the course of the game, as well as adds a mod that makes it so you don't have to switch out a weapon to use the flashlight, which was in the original game, to kind of amp up the horror. So it makes the game much less of a survival game and also makes it a lot easier. Overall, this game's more like modern shooters than the previous games, which were more fast-paced run-and-gun type experiences. It even has the true horror of modern FPS games, reload animations. So all in all, more horror-focused, slower-paced version of Doom. So what do I like about this game? Well, I still think this game looks absolutely fantastic, especially the lighting. It was kind of a technological marvel when it came out, and it still looks really incredible. They used the engine to its fullest extent to create some really atmospheric areas in the game. The shooting also overall feels really solid. This is still an id game after all, so the shooting is going to be fun and engaging, even if there is arguably less of it. Also, the plasma gun and the chain gun in this game are standouts for fun shooting. The game also has a great feeling of escalation. The opening first chapters are incredibly effective at setting the mood for this horror game, and it makes you feel like you're going from a recruit to a badass by the end of the game as you gather more and more arsenal and get better and better at the game as the plot escalates. In terms of things I don't like, a lot of the environments really look the same in this game. There is not a ton of variance until you get to hell at the end of the game, and even that is pretty short. Because of this, it's really easy to get lost, which is a major letdown when you have to circle an area over and over again, not knowing if you've been somewhere and not knowing where to go next. Every time you get hit in this game, you also fly all over the place. I don't know why they kept this in the game for the BFG edition, because it freaking sucks. It's hard to line up a follow-up shot, and your character just kind of spazzes out. And lastly, the shotgun is a joke. Yes, I am giving a singular gun its own con point on this list. I hate this game's shotgun. The shotgun is the workhorse gun for all the Doom games. This one is incredibly inconsistent and it just completely sucks. Why is this shotgun such garbage? So as you know, I rate games on a 3-point scale. Must play, maybe consider, don't bother. This game is a maybe consider. To me, Doom 3 is still definitely a classic for a good reason, even though it isn't held in as high of regard as its predecessors. Because of its change of pace, it's harder to openly suggest it for everybody. However, if you enjoy horror games, or more specifically shooters with horror elements like Resident Evil 4-6 or The Evil Within, this game will be right up your alley. Doom 3 still has fantastic shooting and all that classic id quality, even if it doesn't have the same insane speed and action that one might have expected from this series. That's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching, and go out there and enjoy Doom 3.